Hi folks, welcome to French River Provincial Park, and we're actually on a canoe certification course with the Ontario Recreational Canoe and Kayak Association run by Phil Matsushita, who some of you will know. And today with me I have two secondary teachers from the Durham District School Board, and I'd like them to provide introductions to me. It includes Stuart and Emily. And Stuart, I wonder if you could begin with an introduction, please.
Sure. So my name's Stuart David. I'm a teacher with the Durham District School Board. I've been in the elementary panel for about 3 years doing long-term occasional assignments. And now just in September I'll be starting at the secondary panel teaching outdoor education.
Great. Emily.
My name's Emily Roy, also a secondary teacher. I am teaching at Henry Street High School, and we don't have a consistent outdoor education program, but every couple of years I get to have the pleasure of teaching that, so that's where I'm at.
Super. And I wonder if, Emily, you could share your educational journey, how you got into teaching and your journey in education.
Yeah, so I think I kind of always wanted to be a teacher. My father was a teacher, and both of my grandmothers were teachers, and so you might say it runs in the family. But I took a concurrent education, phys ed concurrent education program at the University of Toronto, and so got my B.Ed along with my Bachelor of Phys Ed, and that's really where I first was introduced to canoe camping. That was a credit course that I was required to, it was a compulsory course that I had to take there, and so that kind of helped lead me toward outdoor education kind of passion. And then I started with the Durham District School Board as a supply teacher, and did that with some LTOs for a few years. I taught adult education, and from there went on to get my permanent teaching job at Henry, and I've been at Henry Street High School for the last 7 years as a permanent teacher. I teach a smattering of things right now. A lot of math, some co-op, some science, and outdoor education when I can. Phys ed would be great, but I take what I can get at this point.
Great. And it's good to have that flexibility because there's going to be diversity in education. And Stuart, what about your journey?
Yeah, so my journey is a bit of a strange one. So my parents were also both teachers, and I think I kind of felt like I've seen that, and I'll do something else. So I went into city planning, which was actually a really enjoyable program at Waterloo. I did that as a professional for about 5 years, mostly worked in Ottawa, and then felt that it wasn't the best fit for me. I was teaching skiing on the weekends, and that was a better, something I just enjoyed more. And so I made the jump to teaching. I went to Queen's, and they have an outdoor education program, so I did that for my teaching degree, and then went into Durham Board from there. In my case, I was hoping to do intermediate senior, but I didn't have the teachable subjects, so I did primary junior, which ended up actually being kind of neat because I worked in elementary schools for a while. Like I said in the intro, I've done mostly grades 6, 7, and 8. And then was fortunate this year to interview for an outdoor education position in the secondary panel, which drew on some of my experience coming into teaching. Before I was a teacher, I was doing a lot of outdoor ed type stuff. So it's been sort of a zigzaggy journey, but excited to be where I am now, and the diversity in teaching is really a neat thing.
And a little bit full circle, because you're back teaching at the high school that you attended.
Yes, I'm back at the high school I went to as a student, which is sort of something I didn't expect to do, but yeah, sort of a funny thing. Yeah.
Now, when you taught outdoor education, Emily, what did that program look like? What sort of content and credits were involved?
Yeah, so that was, it was a course code that was PAD 30/40. It was a combined grade 11, grade 12. So I had students, senior students, and it's a phys ed credit that they were earning, open level. And we were working towards a canoe trip. That's where my comfort level is. That's where I am. I have the most experience. The course, that same course used to run at my school historically as a hiking and biking course, where they would do this really intense final trip, Mount Washington, and then it kind of, the students didn't have the time allowance to be able to put in the number of hours for training for that, so it morphed into the camping, canoeing type course. And so we did a lot of leadership activities, group dynamic activities, because I am a big believer that comes out when you're in the outdoors, and it's a really good way to foster those skills. And so I did with them as many outdoor activities as I could. We practiced, we went mountain biking. We were going to go skiing, but the conditions were not great that winter when it last ran, and many of my students had never set up a tent before, so we're kind of starting from ground zero, and we worked towards learning the different skills, knot tying, shelter building, all of those kinds of things, and did a trip, a 3-day trip in Killarney Provincial Park, and we did a hike was our big activity. So that's what the course looked like.
So besides your additional qualifications that you develop and get in education, you would require certifications, and non-teaching certifications would be which you would need for some of these specialized programs. So what sort of certifications do you have, Emily?
So for me, I have, I got my first canoeing certification when I worked with Ontario Parks, just a flat water canoeing. That is not required as an outdoor education teacher, but for canoe tripping, I have my canoe tripping level 2.
And soon 3.
Soon 3 at the end of this course, which will allow me to be level 3, a trip leader, and level 2, counting as a supervisor towards the ratio. And I also, so for canoe tripping level 3, I have moving water level 1 and Canadian style paddling.
Great. And Stuart, what sort of certifications do you have?
Yeah, so right now I'm in the process of doing a lot of recertification. So I was previously a lifeguard. I'm going to get that recerted for outdoor ed purposes. I was certified in wilderness advanced first aid. That one will also be recerted to have that. Right now I'm doing my canoe tripping level 2. So next summer I'll be planning to do my canoe tripping level 3. And then I've also got my mountain bike instructors as well. So
wonderful.
Sort of, you sort of just keep adding on.
Yeah, I've got mountain biking and wilderness first aid as well. Forgot about those.
And our teacher candidates are in their 4th term, and they'll be completed in January. And I wonder if you could share one tip that you would share for upcoming new teachers as they begin their journey into education.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I would just say, kind of find the part of teaching that you are feel the most passionate about, and do what you can to get towards that. It took me a little bit to figure out that outdoor education was that for me, but if you can find that, it'll make your career a long and happy one.
I think I've got 2. I hope that's okay.
Yep.
So one would be to collaborate whenever you can. Every time I've been in an LTO, if I can find those other teachers in my department or just other teachers in the school who I can talk with and sort of meet with, it's a huge help because they know the students, they know the program. And the other one would just be kind of find small moments in the day that you can enjoy. There can be some tough days, especially early on. It can be a really busy, difficult job. But if you can find those little moments, then I think it makes the day kind of go by, and you'll sort of enjoy it at the end.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us today. That's wonderful. We do have a thunderstorm coming, and so we have to finish packing up our camp. It's been great being with you today. Thank you for sharing.
Awesome. Thanks so much.